Welcome to the Montana Real Estate Channel. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. We appreciate you very much. If you're new to the channel, you might want to tap that logo down here on the lower right-hand side of your screen so that you can be notified when we come out with a new video on communities, lifestyle, culture, or anything Montana with regard to real estate. We try to cover it all. We feel like we've got some great content. You guys tell us in the comments down below. I'm Craig Cyphers, and I work with Erica, my daughter, and at Exit Realty Bitterroot Valley in Hamilton, Montana. But we have offices all over the state of Montana, and we want to introduce you to those places that we work in. And in today's video, we are going to look at the ski town of Red Lodge, Montana. So stick around and enjoy the video on this great western town near the top of Yellowstone Park. Now here we are coming into Red Lodge on US Highway 212, and you can see Red Lodge Mountain in the background there through the trees. And it sets up there in the Beartooth Mountains. And here's a really good shot of it right there. And right now we're going past the local health provider, which is Beartooth Billings Health and Beartooth Billings Clinic. And it is a critical access hospital providing integrated rural health care. And the facility itself is not terribly big, as it has just 10 inpatient beds. It's supported by 150 employees and 11 providers, including physicians and nurse practitioners. So that's your health care there in Red Lodge. But if you need more, you have, of course, Billings, which is just 60 miles away. So we're just coming into Red Lodge, again on US Highway 212. So Red Lodge is at the crossroads between Columbus, Montana to the north and Cook City to the south. That Cook City is the east entrance to Yellowstone National Park. And so if we go 78 to Columbus, that'll take us up near Interstate 90. We're now on Broadway, or the main thoroughfare in Red Lodge. And unlike many ski towns in the west, the ski mountain is not visible from downtown, but you can certainly see the Beartooths, and they are the highest mountains in Montana. Red Lodge is at an elevation of 5,588 feet, so it's nearly a mile high. And the mountain range in the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness has the vast majority of the tallest peaks in Montana, including Montana's highest point, which is Granite Peak at 12,799 feet. And other visible peaks from the area are like the Beartooth Mountain at 12,355 feet and Mount Wood at 12,649. So if we were to take a left earlier, you would go over Cook City Highway, which reaches an elevation of 10,947 feet at the Beartooth Pass. This scenic route offers unparalleled views of alpine tundra, glacial lakes, and the soaring mountain ranges, and it's often referred to as one of America's most beautiful drives. So that's just outside of Red Lodge there. Red Lodge has a population of 2,257 as of the 2020 census, and is the county seat of Carbon County. And Carbon County is so named as it was once known for its rich coal deposits. In a treaty between the Crow tribe and the U.S. government back in 1880, the area was opened up to settlement, and folks began coming into the area to settle it in about 1882. And the post office was established in 1884, and then they had a rail line that was brought into town. And coal shipments started out in June of 1889, which was the same year Montana became a state. And from there until the 1930s, Red Lodge was really known and defined by coal mining. In fact, records show that it was a riotous and violent town back in the day, with over 20 saloons in 1896. And we're seeing some of the historic district here on Broadway as we travel down it. Immigrants from all over Europe kind of swarmed into the town, and the population was 1,180 by 1892. And by 1911, it was more than twice its current size at roughly 5,000 souls. And the Great Depression had a major impact on Red Lodge, but the construction of the Beartooth Highway linking Red Lodge with northeast entrance to Yellowstone Park had a major impact on the economy and tourism, and that was started in 1931. Now, Red Lodge Commercial Historic District between Broadway here that we're now on, from 8th Street till 13th Street, has undergone dramatic renovation since the 1980s. In the late 1950s, an enthusiastic group of Red Lodge and Billings skiers formed Grizzly Peak Ski Run, and in January 2nd of 1960, Red Lodge Grizzly Peak opened up to the public, and today the very much expanded facility is owned by JMA Ventures, who purchased the mountain resort in 2007. The mountain has 7 runs, operates 7 lifts, including 6 chairlifts, and the resort averages between 200 and 250 inches of snowfall annually. The longest run is Lazy M, which stretches approximately 2.5 miles, and the mountain features a vertical drop of 2,400 feet, providing diverse terrain for all ski levels. We have these cute little cottages built in 1914, and there's another dwelling space in the back, built in 1978. And then we're coming up on the Roosevelt Center, which was originally a public school, but now is a multi-purpose community center for art, culture, and community engagement. And the original building dates back to 1920, and that's next to the Yodeler Motel. Yodeler Motel was fairly significantly damaged in the floods of 2022. And as we come around the corner here, this is going back down on Broadway, and you can see this structure and a couple of structures next to it and are pretty rough shape on Broadway in Red Lodge. And here's the reason why. It was the devastating floods of Rock Creek that were associated with the 1,000-year events in Yellowstone in that summer. And that's the building we're just going to pass. And this whole neighborhood is right here in pink. And so you can see that Yellowstone story on our Montana Disasters video. But this has wreaked havoc on all that area around Rock Creek in Red Lodge, as you can clearly see. And they really haven't recovered on this end of Broadway. Just going to travel down through the town here. Again, this is Broadway. We're going to come across a very historical old green structure that is at 2,168 square feet on above grade, and it's right here. It's got an 1,144 square foot finished basement. It's got 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, and it's right here in downtown Red Lodge. And the state has it assessed at a market value of $713,400. I'm sure you could get quite a bit more for that in this market. Check out a little more of the downtown here. Very neat place, a ski town in Montana. This building right here that you see on the right was built in 1902. And Red Lodge is it's much more affordable than, say, Whitefish. Now, Red Lodge doesn't have a lake, but it's right there next to Yellowstone. They do get a lot of tourist traffic, and there's a lot of neat places to shop and eat. I would highly recommend that if you're going to go through that northeast entrance to Yellowstone, that did take some time and spend a little time in Red Lodge. It's got a really great history, and it's a lot of fun, and things are happening all year long. So if we can help you with real estate anywhere in Montana, please reach out to us. All the information you need is in the description down below. Now, coming up here on the right, that is the old county, Carbon County Hospital, and it was built in 1909. And we'll just take in some of the rest of this on Broadway. But getting back to the real estate market, we're going to go out and take a look at some of the newer places, some of the stuff that's been built up near the Red Lodge Mountain. And so you'll want to stay with us for that. And tell us what you think of Red Lodge so far. If you've ever spent any time in Red Lodge and you've got some thoughts about it, leave us a comment down below. We'd like to hear from you. Now, on the balance of the video, we're going to be going through some of the communities, and we'll talk about some price points in a general sense. We've had a tendency to talk about assessed values here in the Red Lodge market because we'd like this to be what we call an evergreen. We don't want to date it based on pricing, but if you have an interest in property in this area, we absolutely can help you. Of course, we have our office in Laurel. We've got Lisa right there. We encourage you to take a look at those other videos that highlight places around the Billings market. Now, this is the old Pea Cannery. It was built in 1910, and we'll go down here and check out some new development. Now, we're going to take a look at these units around the corner here are called Hagan Brewery Cottages, and their assessed value is $382,000. They are townhomes built in 2020. They are 4-bed, 2.5 bath, and run 1,872 square feet. Now, these units are called Cabins of Cooper Condos. Now, try to say that fast 3 times. Cabins of Cooper Condos. They vary in size from 1,100 square feet, and some of them on a couple of levels. And they sold between $300,000 and $395,000. So this is Red Lodge High School. In grades 9 through 12, there are 176 students with a student-to-teacher ratio of 10-to-1. And in this video, you can see that we've got the football field over there to the right, and relatively new facility there in Red Lodge. Not a lot of students. Now we're in the original town site of Red Lodge, and that gambreled roof house that you see right there in the center, well, that property has 1,155 square feet. It's 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and was built in 1910. It has an assessed value of $325,000. So we're just going to travel through the streets of Red Lodge and kind of take a look at the various properties and houses. Red Lodge is still a relatively small town. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think about the content. And tell us if you've ever been up skiing at Red Lodge Mountain. This is the original town site of Red Lodge, and a lot of older structures. Many of them have been redone. We're going to come across one that is a red house that was on 0.143 acres. That's 792 square feet there. It was built in 1920 craftsman style. And the blue house was built in 1912 and renovated in 1985. That's a 2-bed, 2-bath. And interestingly enough, it's got 2,100 square feet, and it has an assessed value of less than $400,000, which I'm almost certain that the market value would be quite a bit more than that. Now we're going to head up towards Red Lodge Mountain, and we're going into Teepee Village Development. And this features a mix of residential properties, including single-family homes and vacant land, with properties typically ranging from around 1 to 2 acres. The homes in Teepee Village vary widely in size and amenities, with square footage generally ranging from about 1,500 to 3,100 square feet. For example, one home in the area is just listed at 3,103 square feet with a lot size of approximately 1.37 acres. And as far as pricing goes in Teepee Village, it tends to be on the higher end with recent sales and listings ranging from approximately $400,000 to over $1 million, depending on home size and condition. And a recent sale was listed for around $639,000 for a 1,536 square foot home, and vacant lots sell like 1 acre typically can be listed for as low as $169,000, and the lots go up to about about $359,000. So keep us in mind if you're interested in be up in this area. All the information that you need to get a hold of us is in the description below. We'd like to be a resource for you. Cypher's Family Real Estate's been helping folks since 1966. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the Alpine Basin Townhomes in Red Lodge, Montana, and these are currently under construction and part of the plan. It's a planned unit development. The units in this development range in size from 14 to 1,500 square feet. They typically feature 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. They're expected to sell for prices ranging at $379,000 up to $810,000, depending on specifics of the unit. Now, this is Red Lodge Country Club Estates, and these properties typically range in size and price, reflecting the variety of properties available. And the homes directly on the golf course often have a lot size between a quarter acre and a half acre, and typical home sizes range from about 1,500 to over 3,000 square feet. For example, homes listed near the golf course include properties like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with 1,581 square feet that were priced around $475,000, and a larger newly constructed home with 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms at $929,000 and nearly 3,000 square feet of living space. In general, the prices for homes in this area can vary widely, from smaller townhomes around $500,000 to luxury homes nearing $1.9 million. The median sales price of homes near the golf course tend to hover around $550,000, and these homes offer a combination of convenient location, scenic views, and easy access to the recreational amenities. Be sure to tap that logo down there on the right-hand side of your screen to be notified whenever we come out with a new video on a community in Montana, and learn more about Montana real estate on the Montana Real Estate channel. Now we're going to end our video on the Red Lodge with a tour of development just headed up towards Columbus, Montana, and this is the Lazy SL Ranch subdivision. And lots typically are around 3 acres in size, and homes vary, but they generally range from about 1,500 to 2,500 square feet. Many homes were built in the 1980s and 90s, with some being renovated since then. Of course, for example, a home listed at 20 Lazy Ranch was a 2,582 square foot home that was originally built in 82 but renovated in 90. And as for pricing of homes in this area, they generally they'll sell for $430,000 to over $1 million, with the average price being around $600,000 to $650,000. Price depends on home size, condition, location, and where it's at in the subdivision. And we sure appreciate you folks, and we look forward to seeing you on our next video on the Montana Real Estate channel.